Hey, it's John from the Company of Heroes 3 team. Today, we've got a really cool video to share with you. One of the great things about Company of Heroes 3 is that now more than ever, there are so many ways to play Company of Heroes, especially in single player. There are tactics, companies, and new mechanics that can cater to various playstyles and experience levels. Today, we've got 3 developers playing the Anzio mission from our Italian campaign. They all tackle the mission differently to get the job done. What's more, it's a great mission, which we haven't shown too much of so far.
At the beginning of the mission, the player is going to have to defend the beachhead against waves of enemies, all while being constantly bombarded by the railway artillery gun Anzio Annie. The company I'm playing as is the Indian Artillery Company. You can see that Anzio Annie packs quite a punch, so you're going to want to make sure to keep your infantry separated and keep them reinforced in order to hold the line.
We're losing a strategic point.
Along the right-hand side, you can see icons of all the abilities and units that the Indian Artillery Company has access to, including the Gurkhas, heavy mortars, and a lot of off-map artillery abilities. This is a bit later in the mission, where the player needs to break through one of the defensive lines around the beachhead. Now the player has access to the 4.2-inch heavy mortar team. It's a heavier mortar than the standard one and gives the player access to a lot of great abilities, including a flare that will help reveal the enemy emplacements. Now that the player can see what they're up against, they can use some of their powerful artillery abilities, like the airburst barrage and the BL 5.5 artillery emplacement, to break through some of these hardened defenses. Now that the enemy defensive line has been weakened, we can move in with the infantry. The Gurkha Rifle Section is the special unit of the Indian Artillery Company, and they have some powerful abilities. They're a close-range assault unit, so they can use smoke grenades to help close the distance against hard targets, and then finish off any emplacements or leftover infantry with their assault grenades.
Move! Move!
Okay, so I'm playing the Anzio mission midway through it, and I'm using the Airborne Company. This is a very tough mission for Airborne Company, as you want to use your airplane abilities, but these AA batteries are preventing me to do so. For this reason, I'm taking advantage of the unique units this company provides, Pathfinders and Paratroopers. The first thing I'm doing is smoking them so that they cannot see me and shoot my units, and then I'm using satchel charges to destroy the anti-air batteries. Moving forward, I am actually using my paratroopers in a very aggressive way, which is definitely an option as they are a very flexible unit. However, it's really important to keep them behind cover. Satchel charges are very powerful tools that can be used to destroy enemy infantry, emplacements, and even vehicles. All American units can access to different Veteran C upgrades. Whenever they get to Vet 1, players can pick one of the 2 Veteran C abilities. In this case, I chose Concealment for my paratrooper squad with the bazooka, as I wanted to ambush any possible threat. The Tiger is a tough opponent, and dealing with it can be very hard for your troops. However, now that I've killed the anti-air batteries, I can definitely take advantage of my superior airplane forces and use the strafing run to take out both the tank and all the German army.
That's a tiger down!
Next up, I'll be playing as a British armored company. They have the ability to call in some of Britain's most heaviest tanks, as well as resource fuel drops. So these fuel drops here will help the player get enough resources to call in more heavy tanks. One of the vehicles that I brought out into the field is the Churchill Black Prince. It's a Churchill tank equipped with a heavy 17 pounder, which allows it to withstand and deal a lot of damage. British tanks also have the ability to drop a smokescreen. This allows them to escape threats and reposition, go behind enemy lines, and take on the battle again.
HQ is under attack. Push them back.
I've now gotten to the end portion of Anzio, and as you can see in the bottom left hand of the screen, I have a diverse roster of infantry and tanks. Even the heaviest tanks, like the German Tiger that we saw earlier, can't stand up to this much armored firepower.
Tiger terror is no more.
So another great ability to use is the Recon Artillery ability that, when selected, it will not only reveal the area, but it will also call in off-map artillery strikes on the enemy. Overall, the British Armoured Company is a bit more straightforward than the other two that we saw. It's more about getting your armored tanks out into the center of action and giving the enemies a real challenge. It's important to keep your tanks and infantry together so that they can provide covering fire for each other. Having a balanced set of units can really give you the upper hand in a mission like Anzio.
And there you have it, folks, our Anzio mission played by 3 different Relic developers in 3 really different ways. We hope you enjoyed this video. We're so close to the launch of Company of Heroes 3 now, so stay tuned as tons of great stuff will be dropping over the coming days and weeks. We'll see you next time.